Hey everyone, it's Mrs. Gershon here. Here's our next video for our next word sort. I'm going to go ahead now and read the words from top to bottom. I'm going to start in this first column. Let me switch over to yellow here. I'm going to start in this first column. I'm going to make my way down, and then we'll talk about our sort this week. So we're going to start with the word braver, happiest, calmest, closest, stronger, crazier, coolest, dirtier. Back up here to the middle, bravest, calmer, prettier, easiest, strongest, hotter, weakest, weaker. And then our last one, happier, easier, closer, craziest, cooler, prettiest, hottest, dirtiest. So as I was reading, you were probably wondering, wait, I heard some common base words, like in the words braver and bravest. Obviously, our base word is brave. This week we are doing comparatives, meaning if we're adding an ER onto the ends, we're comparing two things, like Fred is braver than James. If we're adding EST, we're comparing more than two things, meaning Fred is the bravest of everyone out of third grade, comparing more than two things. Now you might be thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, this sort is going to be so easy this week. Yes, the sort is going to be easy because you're going to be sorting into and est, but you also have to be looking very closely at the fact that sometimes when we add a suffix onto the end of the word, the actual spelling of the word changes, such as in the word happier. We know that happy is spelled Happy, but whenever you're adding a suffix that ends to a word that ends with a Y, like our suffixes ER or EST, even our suffixes from last week, we saw LY, ILY, even those suffixes, you're dropping the Y and you're adding an I, okay? So any of the base words that end with Y, you're going to drop the Y and add I, like in the words prettier. See, we have pretty, Pretty. We're going to drop that Y and add IER for prettier. We also have prettiest. Same thing, you're just adding EST. So you have to drop that Y, add the I. Same thing as in the word dirtier. DIRTY is the base word. We have to drop the Y and add I. I'm also looking at the fact that sometimes you're going to drop the E, one of the E's. So if our base word ends with an E, we're not going to add another E onto the word to make the comparative. So for instance, our word, let's see, close or close. Our base word is close, but we're not going to spell close as CLOS, and if I want to change it to closer, I'm not going to spell it EER. I'm going to get rid of one of the E's and just add ER. So you have to be very careful of that as well when you're adding a suffix onto the end of a word that ends with an E. Now you're not just going to have two categories this week, you actually have four. If you come up here to our bold words, happier and happiest, they're using IER as a suffix, and they're also using IEST. That is for those words that end in Y. The base word ends in Y, and you have to drop it and add an I. So please feel free to raise your hand if you are unsure of the meaning of a word, and I can come over and help you. You're going to go ahead and cut your words, initial the back, and you're going to start your sort. Remember, you have 4 columns this week. If you believe that you have an oddball for some reason, I will be checking that as I go around, but your word should be fitting into these 4 columns. Happy sorting!